One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Neil Armstrong. This quote from textbooks isn't just a record of a momentous occasion in human history, but is also a way to look forward at the field of astronautics as a whole. Astronautics is the study of space, more particularly what people do in space. Areas like rockets, space stations, colonies on the moon all reside in astronautics. So it's important to know that astronautics is an exciting field that is not only interesting to know about, but will shape the future for us all. This may seem obscure at first, but this field has already affected you, and its impact will only grow more as the years go on. Astronautics has already provided inventions like memory foam, freeze-dried food, and the next steps towards lunar colonization will only add to the list of breakthroughs that astronautics is responsible for. Take, for instance, memory foam. It was invented to help astronauts withstand the force of takeoff. As Carol D'Angelo explains in her article, Scientific American, Inventions from Outer Space, Everyday Uses for NASA Technology, memory foam was only ever intended to help test pilots sustain the G-forces of takeoff until they realized it had other applications. Those other applications were making extremely comfortable beds that we have NASA to thank for. Freeze-dried food is another excellent example of an invention by NASA that they didn't intend on having other uses. As you all probably know, astronaut food is the freeze-dried ice cream that you can get at Kennedy Space Center. But real astronauts also eat this food. Of course, they rehydrate it, but this is for a couple reasons. First, freeze-dried food lasts longer. And second, it's able to withstand the forces of takeoff and other stressful and other non-ideal environments that could arise in space. Freeze-dried food might seem to have no applications outside of space, but actually a lot of people use it for the same reasons that astronauts do. Militaries have been known to use freeze-dried food in very specific cases when they need food to last long in non-hospitable environments. Now the GPS. The GPS is something that has revolutionized our lives. Gone are physical maps where you have to keep rotating them, checking them every other second. The GPS has made navigation impressively simpler, and it stemmed from a NASA project. NASA wanted an automatic system that would help determine where a shuttle would be landing on Earth. So the engineers there devised a system of satellites to find the position of the falling shuttle. Luckily, they saw the incredible usefulness of such a technology and were able to relatively simply apply it to our everyday lives. Now, next, it's not enough to know that it's been useful, but astronautics will continue to be useful. Now, the next decades will result in even more technological advances, and astronautical engineers will be vital to that development. A recent development in astronautics is MOXIE, an invention developed to create oxygen on other planets. Now, MOXIE is a complicated invention, but the paper Mars Oxygen IRSU Experiment, or MOXIE, by Hurt and others, does a pretty good job at explaining it. MOXIE is a technology demonstration that addresses the Mars 2020, the Perseverance mission, objective of preparing for human future exploration by producing at least 6 grams per hour of oxygen. In layman's terms, MOXIE is able to make oxygen on Mars, a huge accomplishment for astronautics. This technology could also be applied here on Earth, whether it be for scuba divers, for spelunkers who want to have emergency oxygen generation, or maybe who knows what else. Because this technology is pretty new, we haven't yet seen the impacts on Earth. Another NASA project that could certainly affect Earth is asteroid mining. This idea is essentially to develop an automatic or mostly automatic system that harvests resources from asteroids in our solar system. The technology of today isn't far off from achieving this goal, and at the rate we're at, this could be reality by the end of the century. This development would be able to solve a common problem people have here with the planet today, that we have too many people and too few resources. Well, with space colonization and asteroid mining very real possibilities in the future, the solution seems to be in space. Both of these examples are of technologies that are currently in development but NASA may have projects just starting now that will grow into technology that will change the way we live. It's impossible to know whether or not NASA will be able to keep up this technological pace, but looking at its history, I wouldn't bet against it. The most promising front for new and exciting technology is lunar colonization. As seen in Gerard O'Neill's paper, The Colonization of Space, the future of mankind is in the stars. The colonization of space will define the next era in human history. It's clear that NASA is not only working in exciting areas, but in important ones too. All in all, astronautics has been and will continue to impact you with new technology. Memory foam, freeze-dried food, and GPS are all things that make our lives better that we owe to astronautics. And they don't seem to be slowing down, with many more impressive inventions coming in the next decades that will improve the quality of life for all of us. For the field of astronautics as a whole, Neil Armstrong's words apply. One small step in astronautics, a giant leap for mankind.